Cowabunga! Home arcade and retro game enthusiasts, it's me, it's Michael B. Thank you so very much for watching. Today's video is going to be totally radical because we're taking a look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from Quarter Arcades. That's right, guys. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Quarter Arcades coming to us from Numskull. I want to say a huge thank you to Numskull for sending me out this cabinet for the purpose of this review. Anyways, guys, you know I'm a huge fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game. It basically is the game that got me into the arcade. So let's take a look at this 1/4 scale replication from Numskull and see how it lives up to the original. So guys, here is the box, and as you can see, it's massive. Look at this thing, it's huge, and it's beautiful. Let's take a look at the artwork on the side. There you can see the original arcade art side work put on the side there with the beautiful April O'Neil. There's a good look at the back, showing both cabinets available in this line. And then the other side, we've got more of that original artwork. I'll never get tired of seeing April. Show me again, Mike. Look at her. Alright, let's crack this thing open here. First off, there's going to be some pieces of tape or sticker on the top that we're going to cut off here. Make sure we can get the box open. This one's a little bit tricky because it's also got a little flap that you're going to have to open, so it's not as easy to get open. Now with the tape finally removed, we can get inside the box and see what's included with the TMNT Quarter Arcade. We open up the top, and of course the first thing we pull out is a USB-C power cord, and there inside the box is the arcade itself. We'll put it on its side so it might be a little bit easier to get out. And man, it wasn't just the box that was huge. This is the biggest desktop arcade I think I've ever seen. In terms of a quarter arcade or a replicade, I mean, this thing is absolutely massive. And then at the bottom of the box, we also get the instruction manual as well as some stickers. Now that we have everything out of the box and we're ready to get going, let's talk about the arcade itself, starting with the form factor. And the form factor is an exact 1/4 scale replica of the original arcade. Thanks to this, they can use the exact art, replica art, with no panning to accommodate a different shape. Now the artwork will look very familiar because it's the artwork from the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cabinet, although it is slightly altered. Two very small little changes. First off, you'll notice on the side artwork, Michelangelo's wraps are orange instead of yellow. Now, I know he was orange in the cartoons and every single movie, but for some reason in the original art for this arcade, they put yellow wraps on there. Big thanks to Kamla from the community for pointing this out to me. Very much appreciated. I don't know if I would have noticed. Next up, this is something I've seen on Facebook a couple times, and it's April isn't wearing her wedding ring, so it does look like the side art has been altered. I'm glad that it has been altered because the thought of April being married kind of makes me sad because I've had a crush on her since I was 9 years old. So anyways, guys, let's move on to the marquee, and the marquee looks fantastic. It's bright and vibrant. They used a very high quality print here, and it shows. You will notice the marquee itself has a yellow look to it. They used a warm or yellow LED light to recreate what the original bulb would have looked like in the original TMNT arcade. Now you can notice light is definitely centralized in the middle of the marquee as it gets darker towards the edges. While the side art was slightly modified with Michelangelo using orange wraps like he traditionally did in the cartoon and the toy line, you will notice here he's wearing his accurate yellow wraps, or at least arcade accurate yellow wraps here on the marquee. One definite modernization or change to this marquee is in fact that they do include the Nickelodeon branding, which I guess is a license holder request, and it does not match what was on the original. Okay guys, now let's talk about the screen, and the screen looks great with a bright picture and brilliant color display. There are no bad viewing angles, and the screen seems so much bigger than I remember from quarter arcades. I did, however, notice 2 black lines on the bottom of the screen, and I immediately thought, uh-oh, I got a broken screen here. Turns out this is actually related to the default CRT mode. That's right, when you turn on the cabinet, it'll automatically be in a CRT filter, and for some reason these lines appear. Luckily, there is an option to turn off the CRT filter once you go into the dip switch settings. To do so, you're going to hold the attack buttons on player 1 and player 2 during boot up, and then at the very bottom of the dip switch settings, you will find CRT mode, which you're going to want to turn off. Trust me, the picture looks much better when it is. Once that's turned off, you're going to get a much better looking picture. It actually looks a little bit brighter, as CRT filters often darken the screen a little bit, and of course there's no weird artifacting like those 2 lines that I noticed on my game. Everything looks perfect with the original pixels, and let me tell you, these pixels look sharp and clear. The game looks fantastic once the CRT filter is turned off. Alright guys, let's talk about the control panel now, and full marks to Numskull Quarter Arcades for sticking with authenticity here, and they did replicate a 4-player control panel exact to the original arcade in the 1/4 scale. This also includes the artwork and yellow buttons for Michelangelo. Now, realistically, there's no way 4 people can actually play this comfortably. I mean, if you take a look at my hand on the control panel, you will notice my mandible there is taking up much of the space on the entire control deck, so there's no way anybody else could potentially play this. Luckily, behind each of the coin doors, they included 4 USB slots, so people can plug in up to 4 USB controllers to play. So that's right. Even though it won't be the stock controls, up to 4 people can actually play this comfortably, provided you have 4 plug-in USB controllers. Now back to the actual stock controls, and these are actually pretty solid and responsive, and the buttons have a satisfying feel and response. I had no issue using them and appreciated the extra deck space to rest my fat hands. Now, if you are concerned about how comfortable this will be to play using the stock controls, again, behind those coin doors are USB ports, so you can plug in your favorite USB controller, and it should be pretty seamless plug and play. Now, I've mentioned the coin doors pretty extensively during the control panel piece of this review, but I did want to go back there because there are 4 coin slots on the front, complete with light-up buttons that you actually press to coin in your character. The coin doors are plastic and look pretty good, but it would be nice to see them go the extra mile and do die-cast metal like New Wave Replicades, you know, for authenticity reasons. One thing they did include for authenticity that I absolutely really appreciated is they did include optional stickers to identify which coin slot represents which turtle. Now, for those of you here that care about more than just what the arcade looks like and feels like, let's talk about the gameplay, and I've got some good news for you. This game actually features the exact 1989 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade ROM from Konami, and everything plays just like it should. There is no input delay from the controls, and I've got to be honest with you here, the arcade is actually relatively solid, stays firm on a desk so it won't wobble when you play, so you can recreate the true arcade experience in the 1/4 scale. For you Multicade fans out there, I do have a little bit of bad news, as it is only one game on this cabinet. You don't get both Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in time. In order to do so, you have to buy both of the quarter arcade Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle offerings. So there's only one game on this cab, and that's TMNT, which consists of roughly 7 of the best beat-em-up stages you will ever play, and about a 45-minute playtime. Now, some people are going to ask about replayability with this title. This constantly comes up whenever we discuss a beat-em-up game cabinet, and the truth is, it's a 45-minute long beat-em-up, so most people will complain that once you beat the game, there isn't a lot of challenge or reason to come back to it. But I'm one of those persons absolutely loves beat-em-up games. I love turning my brain off and just running through the story, beating the shit out of the foot soldiers and Bebop and Rocksteady, Krang, and the Shredder, and I can do it over and over again and just really enjoy myself. Konami has always made great arcade game soundtracks, but it always seemed like they went above and beyond for TMNT, and this game is no exception. Luckily, the sound is nice and loud on this cabinet from the mono speaker. You will notice it has a speaker hole above the screen and then another on the back. This game's audio has been unchanged and has the correct theme, unlike the original Arcade 1-Up TMNT cab, where the part of the main theme goes, "Turtles in a half shell," is somehow changed. This does have the original theme. So anyways, guys, that's my quick look at the Quarter Arcade's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1/4 scale arcade. Just chimed in, maybe that's why they're called Quarter Arcades. Just kidding. Anyways, guys, I'm really happy with this product. I obviously grew up a huge fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, loved the cartoon, loved the toys, and it was actually this arcade game that got me interested in the arcades in the first place. This is what brought me in, just so I could go play the Turtles and have that control. So obviously this is something that was kind of a must-have for me. I really, really wanted it. Of course, it does come in at a pretty hefty price tag for the base model, like what I've got. It's $299 US, so that is a considerable chunk of change. But in terms of what you get, this is high-end arcade quality, a very well-done cabinet, well-done art, and just a piece of history for you to have. If you're a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan, you want something for your desk to represent your love of the original arcade, this might be awesome for you. If you're a Quarter Arcade collector, obviously you need to have it. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Quarter Arcade's 1/4 scale arcade? Is this something you're interested in? What do you think of it? What do you think of the way it plays? What do you think of the price point? Let me know. Once again, thank you so very much for watching. This is Michael B. the Game Genie, and I'll talk to you next time.